Check.
Check.
Check, check, check. I think it's working.
All right, cool.
There's just, you know, it probably looks like our audio peaks look constant, probably because of the music.
That is true.
Yeah,
That is true.
I
It
wasn't
is
thinking
loud
about
music
the
out
music.
here.
Yeah, but if you do comment, let us know if our audio is okay.
Yeah.
But,
What's your expectation for this game?
My expectation for this game, you know, Cocodrilos has Cocodrilos. Sorry, is that my right? It's not a double L. I always want to do a double L with. So it's Cocodrilos.
Cocodrilos.
Cocodrilos. Okay. Cocodrilos has impressed me with all their different teams. Have been solid and have played good hockey.
That's true. Mexico is actually, well, you know that more than me, but I would say it's a pretty well-developed hockey nation when we talk about non-traditional territories.
Yes, you know, it is, and they, you know, the Federation is doing a really good job in trying to grow the game. And actually, one of my students at American School Foundation is playing with the U18 team. And so I've gotten to know a lot about the hockey scene in Mexico City. A very nice arena in Santa Fe. Santa Fe Ice Arena is a really nice complex. I could see that hosting some future events.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. Lots of regulation size rinks.
Yeah, there are 11 rinks. Most are a little bit small and in malls, but there are a decent number of regulation rinks. I think at least 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
In Mexico
well, that's
City.
Lots for the Brazilians.
Yeah, that is a lot. Or, well, you know, most rinks in Latin America weren't made for
hockey.
They were made for figure skating.
Yeah, we were just talking about how the boards, you know, are a little bit thinner. And how we don't have the glass, right? It's mostly nets here in South America. It is like that in Brazil too. We do host IHF events like that, and
with the nets too.
With the nets too.
Wow.
Because that's 3-on-3, and that's okay. What mostly happens though is that the nets are a little tighter, so the puck bounces back onto the ice.
Right.
And then the refs don't call it when the puck hits the net.
That was actually a suggestion I had earlier today. Was you know, don't blow the whistle if it bounces back into play. Don't blow the whistle.
In the official IHF rulebook, it is you should not blow the whistle. We're playing a little different. If the puck does go out of bounds though, the play restarts with a center ice face-off.
Okay. Well,
in the official IHF rulebook.
Okay. Well, I do like that it's the one whistle that players get to change on, kind
That's
of.
True.
You know, so it's not bad that there's an occasional whistle here.
That is true.
I gotta get the clock started. And we're off. AllPacas B from Peru. You got some size, especially Alex. That's Alex Gorlov.
Gorlov seems like an oddly...
Oh, sorry, I got that wrong. That's Robert Vinette. Captain Robert Vinette, number 8. He's out there right now with number 11. No 11 on the roster. Nicholas. Nicholas, that's number 9 on the roster. That's Nicholas Joaquin Alvarez Leiva. I love the 4-name thing.
So you have the 2 rosters set up there.
Yep, right there.
Perfect.
Yeah, this one, I'll move this cable, so there we go.
Amazing.
So, I love the 4 names in the Latin world. Everybody has 4 names.
Yeah, that is true. We usually, a lot of times here, we take both of our parents' last names, and sometimes we take both of their, family names.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so...
big cultural difference there.
Yeah, I kind of get it. My middle name is my mother's maiden name. So I've got my mother's family's name and my father's family's name, but they're backwards to everyone here because it's my first name, then my mother's maiden name, and then my dad's last name.
That is somewhat how we do it here. A lot of people do it like that. Fun fact, also, when we signed up, it did say full name, so I guess everybody just went for their full name. Usually we have one family name that we stick with. It's not necessarily your last name, but, you know, sometimes you have a preference.
It makes
so that is why we're seeing the huge names on the roster.
It makes it hard. I'm teaching English, high school English in Mexico City, and sometimes the students just use one name when they put their name on their paper. Sometimes they use two names, sometimes they use three names, and sometimes they use four names. You know, it depends on how they're feeling that day, I guess. And so it's very difficult. I'm looking at every paper wondering whose it is.
Do you think it's a small sheet of ice to try to do, you know, these higher passes? On the men's tournament, they've been using them somewhat often. It seems to me that it just cuts a lot of the action from the game.
I'm trying to know what you mean by higher passes.
I mean, actually, like, they lift off.
Oh, okay.
Was that a score? It was.
Well, I think that, yes, and that was Cocodrilos opening the score in 1-0. I think one thing that if you do a saucer pass, we call it a saucer pass, or you're passing up into the air. Or, pardon?
I didn't mean a saucer pass. I meant when they actually pull the puck up.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Yeah, you know, I think any time they're getting the puck up off of the ice on this ice surface is a good idea. It's chewed up like crazy. And it's like sandpaper. So,
that is true.
You know, get the puck up off of the ice, and it's going to be a lot more efficient.
There's very little space for passes that go, you know,
right
over people's heads.
Right.
It was a good turn. If only he could have stood his ground there.
Could have had a potential wraparound.
Absolutely, it would have been nasty.
That is, he's mucking it up in the corner too pretty well. That's number 42. He's coming off for a change. 42, Bernardo Fabian. Yeah, Hasso Alvarado.
All right.
There we go.
Pick one last name.
Hasso.
All right.
Gotta be careful when you say Hasso.
That's true.
Oh my goodness. It was really fun with the Olympics, listening, watching and listening to Mexican television broadcasts of the Olympic hockey games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the announcers would say everyone's first and last name on the ice, and it was pretty
Very
impressive.
different from the American way of broadcasting.
Yes, exactly. And I think it was because, you know, like they talked so much faster than an American would talk, a broadcaster, and so they could, and they're soccer broadcasters.
That is a score.
So normally they're soccer broadcasters, and they brought the way they do it.
Was that a goal, or did she say no goal? I'm wondering.
Oh, yeah, it was a goal. I'm gonna leave it up on our board.
That is it. You know what's really hard is, I could swear I heard a whistle there, but apparently I was wrong.
I think it was a scream from
That's a loud pitch scream.
One of the fans.
Oh, that's in the net. That's 3-0 for the Cocodrilos. It's a good shot by number 85, I believe.
It's 3-0 on our board, but 2-0 still on the scoreboard here at the rink. The scoring happens so rapidly that,
you know, there's another rule that's a little bit different when we were playing IHF 3-on-3, which is after the goal, the goalie and no one else has to put the puck back behind the goal line. So here they're not applying that rule, which makes it a little harder. to see when a goal was in fact scored.
Yeah, you know, the puck goes into the net, bounces out, and they're grabbing it and skating the other way.
Exactly. That's not, you know, that is not the typical way you play 3-on-3. It does make it a little harder.
You really got to stay on your toes.
Woo.
That's one of the
good offensive pressure there.
That's one of the Kentucky goaltenders playing down there. I think that's
Cameron, I believe is his name.
Cameron, yeah, Friendrich, I think.
We're on fair name basis, right? I played for his team.
Oh, that's number 94, Francisco Javier Valdez Moreno with the goal. It's kind of fun to say all the names.
That is fun. That is true.
Oh. So it's 4-0. Cocodrilos, Mexico. Leading.
It's getting intense up there.
The AllPacas B team. Yeah, there's a little corner action here. They're up against the boards digging for the puck. I like to see it.
Yeah, you know, it's hockey after all. You got to battle out on the boards. You got to put some intensity on the plays, and otherwise it's just another game.
Yeah, you know, it also when you're fighting along the boards, at least on this sheet of ice, it's also a good opportunity for your teammates to get a change.
That is very true.
So
reposition themselves to gain space on the ice.
Yeah, but especially if you can bottle,
line change, absolutely.
If you can bottle it up along the boards in the offensive zone, let your teammates change, get some fresh legs. There are some big fellas on this Cocodrilos team. They're just solid.
Absolutely.
Solid. They're not tall, but they are solid. Meanwhile,
good stance. If they got a little lower, though, it would be really hard to knock them out. You know,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, you know, they've got that good. When they widen out their stance, boy, they're solid. That's an example right there that the goaltender can never relax. That was just a shot by his own player that missed the net and knock hockey. We called it knock hockey. You know, went bump, 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 and wound up.
Kind of like air hockey, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like air hockey.
The door opening being on the same level as the puck is also.
Yeah, I see what you mean. There's that yellow stripe, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's for the figure skaters.
That is fair.
Yeah, they don't need to worry about it.
They don't.
You know, they just walk on and off the ice without stepping over anything. Actually, they have a step down off of the ice, I think.
That is true.
Over on that side. You open the door and step down onto the bench.
Ooh, denied.
Kind of like, if I recall, at the Polar Arena.
That's a good one-timer, unfortunately.
The classic rink in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, for the Polar. I think you stepped down onto the benches as well.
Really?
Yeah, it's a classic old rink actually. The Red Wings trained there for a while. It's.
Oh, you mean the Wolverines, the Michigan D1 program house?
No. That's Yost.
Oh yeah.
But in Sault Ste. Marie, up north, there's a beautiful old rink.
Cool?
Yeah, it's the scoreboard here at the stadium, but I've got 5 counted, so I'm keeping it there. Hope that doesn't come into play, that argument later.
Yeah.
Oh my, there's an example where it's such a small sheet of ice and they changed lines, and you wound up with basically a 3-on-0 against Cam.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be really careful about when you're changing and like to not change on defense because the transition is very quick, you know.
Oh yeah, it comes right back as
Essentially,
quickly as
you
possible.
you could basically shoot it from your goal line and it would be a decent you know, distance when we're talking about 5-on-5 hockey.
Yes. Now, that's one of the other difficulties for the goaltender is that like even at the far end of the ice,
You're still within a good, you know, distance to actually get a good shot in.
Yeah, and that shot's coming through 6 bodies at you.
That is true. So lots of screening. Yeah.
Yeah, and Cam brought this up. Since there's no blue lines or red line or face-off dots or hash marks, and there's no lines on the boards, the goaltender has nothing to use to know his angles, to do triangulation. That's how normally goalies know where the net is behind them. It's not instinct, but it's learned. You triangulate, you look forward to your left, forward to your right, and you find reference points. And you know where you are on the ice relative to the net.
Good defensive stretch there by the AllPacas. Back check their hearts out.
And so on this ice, Cam said he's got to just stay in the net, actually be in contact, touching the net to know where the net is. You see he's doing that right now.
Yeah.
And normally, if the puck were outside the zone, you'd be at the top of the crease. So he can't do that. So not only does that long shot come in through 6 bodies, but it comes in and your back is on the crossbar.
Yeah.
You're way back in the net, and there's a lot of open net. So actually, that long shot is pretty smart here. There's a penalty call. I didn't see it.
Nowadays in the official, I don't believe we know what the call is. Oh. That is in. Another goal for the Cocodrillos.
Is Cocodrillos the town, or is it just the name of the team?
I believe it's just alligators in Spanish.
Oh.
I mean crocodiles, actually.
Cocodrillos is crocodile?
Yeah.
Ah.
They have a gator on their shirts.
Ah, I see now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do.
Don't think they're representing any Mexican province in particular. I think they're like the Mexican Cocodrillos, which I like.
I do too.
Very sensitive switches.
That's kind of fun. I actually get to watch the game now that you're helping me.
Ha! Ain't that good? I believe that was a frozen puck and not a goal.
Yeah, I don't think that went in. That was on the try, though. That was Luis Ivan Zuniga Santiago.
All right.
He wears Santiago on the back of his jersey. And it's his 4th name.
Well, this is his last name, right?
Yeah.
The true last.
Oh, here we go, breakaway. And Cam's up to Cam's
Denied
up
by
to the
Cam.
question. He answers that question.
I do believe Cam's having a tough time with the rougher patch of ice in which you can't slide that well. So he plays very much butterfly style.
Yep. I noticed the goaltender for the Caribbean Collective would take her water bottle and actually
That is a good
wet
strategy, actually.
the ice. We would never do that. Never back in the old days. We dried that crease up as much as possible. You know, like you see the goaltenders go out there and scrape up the crease.
Yeah.
And that was the way we did it. You didn't want any water. You didn't want to slide that
You
way.
wanted the contrary, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
amazing to see how much hockey has changed over the years.
It's incredible, but the goaltenders now go down to their knees and then just slide around.
Yeah.
And in the old days, we waited until the shot came, and then, you know, if it was appropriate to go to your knees, you went to your knees.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now all the goals are upper corners now
That is
because
true.
goaltenders are crawling around on their knees. And,
Yeah.
and
Back in the day, the low goals used to be
yeah,
a lot more effective.
the rule is shoot low, and generally glove side. That was your number one.
Did that go in?
That did go in.
I don't have a good angle from here to see whether or not things are going in, so
And they're calling it 6 on the scoreboard, so I'm going to leave it right where it is. Cocodrilo 6. AllPacas B, nothing. Like to see AllPacas get on the goal here. Yeah, Cam is gassed. He is tired. He just played a game for Kentucky, and then he got back in the goal because the AllPacas B team needed him.
it's good that he could step up to the occasion.
Yeah, well, you know, he it's kind of part of
The growing the game.
the goalie code though too is like if a team needs a goalie, you play.
do it.
Yeah. I used to get calls every night of the week. Can you play? Can you play? Can
He
you
should
play?
be playing.
Well, the problem was, you know, like if they don't have 2 goalies, there's no game really.
That's true.
You know, it's not fun.
Would you gear up here?
I
I would love to see that.
I would love to, but my body is broken. I need a new left hip. I've had right hip surgery. I have had
All of ours.
yeah, lower
No,
back.
I can imagine.
L4, L5 partial
Ooh, that is
discectomy,
rough.
and I have a C6, C6. So there's a guy got a big zipper on my
Dude,
lower
bro,
back.
yeah.
And they went in through
You're
the
all patched
front.
up?
Yeah, they went in through the front. C6, C7 for my spinal fusion. All from goaltending. It's crazy the way.
That was career ending.
Yeah, it wears on your body.
No, I can imagine that.
And so now I only play in a sled. I'll get in a sled and I'll play sled hockey.
Nice.
I play in goal.
I would love to try and play sled hockey once.
Oh, it's
You know?
it's fantastic. It's really fun. And so working with the Carnegie Initiative, we hosted the first Carnegie Cup for blind hockey.
Blind hockey.
Yeah, with Canadian Blind Hockey, they invited teams, blind hockey players from around the world, and they hosted the Carnegie Cup in her Carnegie's honor. That hockey is for everyone.
Amazing.
Yeah.
it
Shout out to
somewhat-
Brian McBride too, who started Hockey is for Everyone as vice president of the NHL, and to Willie O'Ree, who he brought in to lead that. And so the blind hockey is incredible. If you go to YouTube. Look up Blind Hockey Canada on YouTube. They have a channel. They stream all their games, and it is unreal.
Yeah, people get on it.
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
gonna ask you a question about blind hockey.
Yeah.
Is it somewhat like, blind soccer where the goalies can have full vision?
No.
No.
Actually, it's the exact opposite. The goalies have no vision whatsoever in blind hockey.
Really?
Yeah, and if they have any vision, they blindfold them. So,
Oh, right.
Yeah,
And
so
what about the line players? They can have up to what?
10% vision.
10%.
So 10% vision, a lot of the players can see light and dark, or they have peripheral vision.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to turn their head to find the puck or see the puck. But most of the players played as kids growing up.
And then had an accident or something that.
Yeah, they had a head injury or degenerative
Illness.
disease, and they lost their vision.
Yeah.
And it's tragic. Some of them were
life,
really great players when that happened to them, and that not only do they lose their vision, but they lose their hockey. And
well, now they don't.
Right. And so the puck is about the size of a Dinty Moore can. Cam is gonna actually, I think.
Go on the other side.
No, he's taking a break.
All right.
He's gassed, and so they're gonna be playing. All-Paca B team is gonna be playing.
Four skaters.
4 skaters, no goaltender, which isn't a bad move actually when you're down 6-0.
Might as well enjoy the game.
Well, yeah, and might as well have a chance to catch up. I don't want to be the guy tasked with protecting the goal without goalie equipment, though.
That's true. That is true. Although this tournament does have a no slap shots rule, so I guess techniques have changed a lot. I do believe slap shots are not the most preferred type of power shots nowadays when we're talking, even about elite hockey, you see the number of slap shots reduced every year.
Well, I think part of that is the stick technology.
Yeah.
You can get a
whipping,
shot that's going just as fast, probably faster, because you put some bend.
And you're only half bending it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're only half lifting it. If it's a one-timer, you got a little flex there. Well, it's whippy as hell.
Yeah, and in the old days when all the sticks were wooden. Yeah, then.
Are you from that time?
Yeah, I'm from that time.
I played with a wooden stick. I could say that I'm also from that time. I was born in the 90s.
Yeah, we still had wooden sticks
Yeah.
then. That was in the 90s were the day of the aluminum shaft with the wooden blade that you would stick in to the aluminum shaft. Good sportsmanship there.
Yeah.
Copa Jails had a penalty shot. Rather than do the penalty shot, they just dumped the puck into the All-Pacas B end. Yeah, it's like, what's the point in putting a 5th layer of paint on the wall? It's like, okay, it's 6-0 already, so.
You have a point. It is about fostering the hockey community here in Peru and making sure everyone has a good time and that they're good games. I don't think, we're trying to play good hockey and fair hockey to the most that we can, but also, being a good sportsman is part of this process. That's
right, and it's so important at the end of the game when you see everybody smiles and everybody's friends.
All-Pacas got a goal in.
Yeah.
Maybe the 4 skaters would help, and it did.
I think it can. When I was playing prep school hockey, we used to get tickets to Red Wings games free from the Illiches.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, the Red Wings weren't great at the time. Let's put it that way. And it was like Steve Yzerman was brand new, and and so it was fun to watch because Steve Yzerman was Steve Yzerman, but the Red Wings almost always lost.
Yeah.
So the Illiches would give our team. I went to the school where their kids went to school, and they'd give our team tickets to the game way up top in the nosebleeds. And we would sneak down as close to the ice as we could throughout the game. But there was one game where Tom Barrasso, I don't know if you know any of these names, but Tom Barrasso was playing goal for the Buffalo Sabres.
All right.
And
can't say I'm familiar, but
I
respect that.
He's great, Hall of Famer, But Tom Barrasso was having a bad night. He'd given up 6 goals. And with 9 minutes left in the game, in an NHL game, Scotty Bowman was the coach. He pulled Tom Barrasso and put a sixth skater on the ice, not a goaltender, just to tell Tom Barrasso, hey, you're not doing your job. And it was pretty good hockey.
It was a point.
Actually.
He was trying to make a point. I get it.
Yeah, and actually, I don't think the Red Wings scored again.
Look at that.
So 9 minutes of 6-on-5. You would expect that they'd get a chance, but
ice is getting pretty melty by now.
yeah, we're back to Lake Lima.
Lake Lima.
There are crocodiles on Lake Lima.
Apparently, crocodiles are eating the alpacas.
They are. Oh my gosh, those poor alpacas. But they make lovely sweaters.
They do make lovely sweaters. I do vote for them as the best team name.
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly, for me, that I've ever seen. So, alpacas isn't like all stars, but pacas, that's great. That's great. Good creativity.
Of course, the history of Peru is interesting with alpacas and llamas. That was the mode of transportation, mode of cargo. They didn't develop the wheel, largely because on their mountain roads they stepped them, and so before the advent of the wheel in South America, they had roads that, as they rose up, went up steps, and so you couldn't use the wheel.
You couldn't use the wheel. Had to count on the four-legged friends.
Yeah, the alpaca though and the llama could climb the steps.
Yeah.
With the best of them. So the Spaniards brought the wheel. Was Peru is Spanish, not Portuguese, I would take it.
Yes.
Okay. Brazil
is
Portuguese, yes. So do you speak Portuguese?
I do speak Portuguese.
Oh, so you got Portuguese, you got Spanish, you got English. What else you
my
got?
Spanish is not that great. It's enough, It's enough. It does the job, but most certainly not the best Spanish, most plastic Spanish out there. I wish it was better.
It's better than mine.
Well, I doubt it.
Although if I did have to call this game in German, I think I could.
Do you think so?
Swahili, I would have a little bit of trouble.
Oh, no.
That's my third language.
Hakuna Matata is in Swahili, right?
Hakuna Matata, yeah.
Do believe so.
Yes. All those
Those are
great.
the only words that I know.
The Lion King is wonderful. Actually, I just saw The Lion King in Mexico City in Spanish.
Really, the play?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Lovely play.
oh my gosh, the costumes are
Yes,
absolutely
it is a big
incredible.
production.
And so really fun, and you know all the songs already, and so they still, even if they're singing in Spanish, they still sing all the Swahili words in Swahili. Pumba means warthog.
Yes.
Rafiki means friend.
Nice.
Of course, Simba means lion. It's the word for lion in Swahili.
They just went very general with that then.
Yeah.
It's like naming your dog Dog.
Yeah.
Love the concept.
Well, Simba's got a nice ring to it anyway.
That it does.
Where did my browser go?
Was there a goal on that last play?
There's my browser. There was a goal for Cocodrilos.
I did not see that.
That's what
My
I'm looking
God.
for. So it's 8-1.
Ooh, that was a good chance to score there, but like the player was right where he should have been, and it went Chin had. That is out of bounds.
So what do you do for work?
That's a good question.
Is it hockey?
No,
you used to do broadcasting.
Yeah, I told you. Well, not fully broadcasting, but communications for sports in general, sports marketing and stuff.
Okay.
I did quit my job last December so that we could, focus on opening a Brazilian. I would say hockey club, but it's a little bit more than that. It's supposed to be a collective for South American leadership to It's basically a consulting firm for hockey programs in South America. That's the idea.
Well, my goodness, I'm so glad that you're meeting the guys from Kentucky.
Yeah.
Especially those guys, and I'm with the Urban Hockey Foundation.
Yeah.
Look us up on the web, Urban Hockey Foundation.
Nice.
Out of Detroit.
I think most of our mission is very much aligned. It's like growing the game, and say someone in northern Brazil wants to open up a hockey program and they have no idea where to start. Well, they call it South American Hockey Academy, and we have 2 camp models. That's how we're planning this out. There's a beginner-friendly camp, and the good part about it is that we're not so focused. We're not only focused on ice instruction, but we want to empower them with their leadership to make the best decisions for what works schedule-wise, equipment management, how to actually get sponsorships and how to run a sports business.
Speaking of sponsorships, where do your sponsorships come from on that end? It's not free to do this,
Absolutely
there are
not.
costs.
We are just starting the organization right now, so right now my sponsorship is out of my pocket.
Okay, and that's something that I want to point out to people is that the people who love this game and are growing this game are not doing it for the money.
Oh, absolutely not.
And I've been involved with several nonprofits now in the hockey world that are really making a difference. And there's somebody who when the kitty's dry and somebody needs equipment in Harlem or somebody needs equipment in Costa Rica, there are people who dip into their own pockets and help make it happen.
Absolutely, but the idea, we haven't put the product out yet, so we haven't done any camps yet. We're setting up the business right now. I'm actually working with social media, but for a friend of mine, it's another gig, but just so I can have something steady to set up the foundation for the business that we're opening.
Okay,
but,
do you guys have a profile on LinkedIn?
Not yet.
Okay, when you get one on, I'll share your stuff.
I will show you our all of our marketing materials, but we're gonna launch soon. The prediction is to launch in March.
Okay, and so I'll show you my LinkedIn. I've got about 1,800 connections. Most are in the hockey world. Some are in the teaching world.
There.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
It's supposed to be
it's
11, I
too
think.
fast.
One product in our portfolio, who's going to call a consulting firm that has no cases of success. So need to show them how to do it, and then trust that that's a goal for AllPacas.
Well, okay, people forget that you have to make an investment before you can have a return on investment. And if you can make a life out of hockey,
I would love that.
Oh,
that's the dream, right?
Yeah, and you'll be helping people along the way. I know that the Kentucky team is going to be going next February.
Yeah.
To Chile.
Chile.
I believe.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a player on
the Caribbean team.
Yeah.
She's actually from Venezuela. It's Ile, but she lives in Chile.
Okay, and then there's Maybe it's, am I thinking Argentina? There's a young man in the tournament here.
That is a goal for the Cocodrillos.
On the AllPacas, who's either Chilean or Argentinian. The Cocodrillos. 2. My goodness. 12-2. So we're kind of in the same spot with Sled Hockey Mexico. You can see we had some sponsorship from Los VGK, which is
Nice. The Vegas Golden Knights
Vegas
Foundation,
Golden
right?
Knights Latin American Marketing Division.
Yes.
I need to, when you get up and going, I need to introduce you
They
to
make a lot
those
of
guys.
efforts with Palma Golden Knights, which is the elite roller hockey team.
In Brazil?
Well, not in Brazil. They're in South America. Well, they're in North America actually. They have a lot of Canadian players, but they do a lot of camps throughout the world,
Yeah.
teaching people roller hockey
Yeah, and
and ice hockey. They went to an event in Brazil. I don't know if you are familiar with who Swaggy P is.
No.
His name's Pete Lanes. He is a puck handling master. He's an absolutely filthy guy. He played D1 for Vermont. Has a YouTube. I believe that was a goal.
Yep.
That was a Cocodrillos goal.
So keep going with your story.
No, he's just a great player overall, you know. And he's involved with the Palma Golden Knights Foundation. They run a lot of camps around the world. So, they had the chance to go to Brazil. He has a famous Instagram account and TikTok, so if you ever want to see some really insane stick handling, that's Pete Lanes. At
Okay.
Swaggy P.
That's Swaggy P.
It's funny to
I'm
say
sure
that.
my daughter knows it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no way that she doesn't. Is your daughter Gen Z?
She is a sophomore at Michigan State right
yeah.
now, and she loves college hockey.
Does she play college hockey?
No,
Oh, yeah,
she was an
Michigan State, yeah.
alpine ski racer.
Really?
Yeah, because the last thing my wife wanted to do was spend every weekend
hockey rinks.
at ice arenas. So my wife was an alpine ski racer.
That's a tough battle on the boards.
Yeah. Oh, Alex is a big fella too. That's going in the corner there. That was number 8 for the AllPacas. That's Robert Vinette. He's got Alex on the back of his jersey though.
Do you think
Is that Gorlov? Is that Alex Gorlov? Pardon? Yeah. We're gonna move a little bit of the equipment here. It's getting hot. Oh, and we are limited by this cord.
Tiempo? Ask for a time out there. Oh, no, that was the end of the period,
Time
I
is
believe.
up. Gotcha. And that's the end of the game. Our score is 13-2. Cocodrillos, Mexico, against AllPacas Peru. And this was the Division 2 final. Have you seen the trophies? The trophies are nice
They look
looking.
amazing, yeah. No, I just saw them a couple minutes ago.
Yeah.
I was impressed.
Very impressed.
We haven't had these kind of trophies in Brazil ever, so.
Oh my gosh! And, you know, for basically a beer league tournament, this is it's got some really nice bling. They're doing it like they mean it.
For real. No, that's the
Yeah.
way to go, you know. That's marketing. That's how you grow the game, too. It's part of the process. I'm glad they did it. Now they're shaking hands. Cam's being
And Cam. Cam's
No, Cam,
getting
you're
the
an
love
absolute
from
beast.
everybody.
absolute beast.
Yeah, he's exhausted. I think he lost 5 pounds.
Probably, yeah.
In that one. All right, we're gonna stop this stream. We'll be back. Teams, players are trading jerseys. I love that. That's a great thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wish I
it's-
had brought some of my jerseys and traded them here, but I kind of forgot about that.
So I was on the crew in college too. I played hockey and I was on the crew. And in the crew, when you lose to a team at the end of the race, the tradition is you pull up alongside, they pull the boats together, and the loser has to take their shirt off and off their back and hand it over to the other team. And so
That's a good tradition.
yeah,
Start that on hockey.
actually the NCAA tried to get rid of it because
Obviously,
they
like all
called
traditions.
it betting. You know, in the
Like
world of
bullying in another way.
world of NIL, you
Yes.
know, like okay, like they were doing it for a sweaty T-shirt.
Yes.
It wasn't happening, but it was pretty amazing. You know, like in the better crew that you were on, you wound up with a big bag of
T-shirts.
Oh, well, T-shirts or the tanks that people raced in from all the different colleges.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna sign us off, and we'll be back. Well, they're gonna need to dry up Lake Lima for a while.
All right, Sam. You're up.
Sam.